bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you are watching this around the world as we go global, hopefully. Welcome to THFC. THFC, get it right, Dermot. THFC till I die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and of course, a very exciting future as the Premier League returns on Saturday after a mad international break. The game last night with Brazil and Argentina, that was crazy. Brazil losing their first ever home game in the qualifyings. And of course, they lose it to their arch rivals, Argentina. Look, the scenes before were shocking. I think Brazilian FA need to be asked questions why they didn't segregate the fans properly. Look, we all know there's a massive rivalry between Argentina and Brazil. That it's a bit like Argentina and Uruguay. It's the Battle of the River Plate. Every team in South America has a rivalry that's deep and bitter and ferocious. And you put the two biggest teams in South America pitted against each other in the man in the car. You don't segregate the fans properly. What are you going to get? You're going to get problems. And fair play to the Argentina players last night. Fair play to the Martinez trying to take that baton off the overzealous military Brazilian police, by the way. And fair play for Messi taking them off the pitch. What were the Brazilian FA thinking? I tell you what, it's like doing the North London derby and Tottenham Hotspur saying, I tell you what, we're going to sell all the tickets to Tottenham fans and we'll let the Arsenal fans go in wherever they want. Oh, hell's going to break loose. Did anyone ever think that's not going to happen? It was a shocking game anyway. But Argentina won 1-0. Brazil suffered their first ever home defeat in the World Cup qualifiers, so history was made. And look, I think FIFA, need to ask questions to the Brazilian FA. Why weren't the fans segregated properly? Why do you not do what you normally do? And I think it's greed. And I think it all comes down to money. And look, it's shocking, but that's not what this update is about. Of course, it is all about Tottenham Hotspur and what is happening. And of course, the big question is, are Spurs in trouble? Now, look, this is now going way, way back from 2008, 2009. And for me, it is ridiculous that the FA have sat on this for nearly 14 years, and now it comes to light. Why? Because Man City and Chelsea are facing problems. Well, I tell you what, let's not bother with them. Let's pick on Tottenham. It is absolute joke. It's an absolute disgrace. Look, if we've done wrong, why didn't the FA punish us 14 years ago? Rules are there. You cannot use an unlicensed agent. That's fair enough. And if Levy and if Tottenham and if Portsmouth have made a mistake, then yeah, find them all points deductions 14 years ago. Luton Town were deducted 10 points for the same thing. But why wait 14 years? Why wait 14 years after Everton now get deducted 10 points for what they've for breaking FFP? You got Man City with 115 charges, by the way. 115 charges, by the way. You've got Chelsea being done for the same thing. But let's not worry about that. And let's go and pick on Tottenham. And let's dig out something that happened nearly 15 years ago. And we're charging with that. I think it's disgusting. I think it is way out of order. And I think really and truly, the FA need to look at themselves. Why they're bringing this up 15 years later? Why was it not dealt with 15 years ago? But Tottenham could face points deductions. And this is the latest. Tottenham could face points deduction after an investigation found rules were broken in the transfer that sent Jermaine Defoe to Portsmouth. The FA, this is the latest I've heard this morning, the FA have said it is prepared to review any new evidence. In the same year, Defoe's transfer, Luton were docked 10 points for breaking agents' regulations. Well, if Luton got done 10 years ago for the same thing, why didn't Tottenham get done? Why is the FA waited 14 years to now bring this on us? It's such a joke. It really is a joke. Look, if Tottenham have done wrong and they've been found guilty and they have broken the rules, then that's fine. Punishment should follow. If you're found guilty, you should face the consequences of what you've done. It's the same in life. It's the same with anything. If you've cocked up, you hold your hands up and you accept the responsibility of what you've done, and you learn from it. You move on, and you learn not to make that mistake again. But why sit in it for 14 years? Why sit in it for 14 years and then suddenly, when there's bigger fish to fry, bigger teams to deduct points off, bigger teams to charge, the FA go, I tell you what, let's have a look in the cabinet. Let's see what we can find. Let's dig some old dusty boxes off. Oh, look, we found one there 14 years ago. We'll do Tottenham now. Points deductions. Well, how about actually charging the proper teams that have actually broken the rules? Like a Man City, 115 charges of various different rules breaking. Is anything going to happen to them? No, because they're Man City and they've got money. Chelsea, done for paying different people off offshore accounts on where Abramovich owned Chelsea. Are they going to get done? No, of course they're not, because they're Chelsea. And it wasn't us. The new one is it wasn't us. We didn't do anything. The Premier League and the FA need to find a pair of balls here and actually look at it properly and charge the people that need charging. And the FA sitting on this for 14 years is a joke, and they need to be looked at as well. Why didn't they not deal with this 14 years ago? They did Luton 10 points for the same thing 14 years ago. So why didn't do Tottenham 14 years ago? What was it? Oh, Tottenham were a big club, but hush, hush. Sweep it under the carpet. But when a bigger club comes off, Man City, with all their big oil money from the all Arab countries, think, oh, we can't upset them. Well, I tell you what, let's go and dig this out and we charge them. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid, and it needs looking at. But I'm just so pathetic. It really is. The FA are a bunch of pathetic fools sitting in an ivory tower somewhere, like 150 years old. It is ridiculous, and I'm very angry about this. I'm very pissed off, because I wouldn't mind, right, if we got done 14 years ago, I would have accepted it. We broke the rules. We shouldn't have used an unlicensed agent. Fair enough. Fair cop. But the fact they've waited 14 years to dig this up, when they should be looking at a Man City or a Chelsea for what they've done, is a fucking joke. It really is. Look, we're going to move swiftly on to some transfer latest news I've got. And Atlanta's BC's Giorgio Scalavinia is reported being targeted by Tottenham Hotspur, who, after seeking a defensive reinforcement following the injury to Mickey van der Ven, look, we all know we needed a centre-back. We should have got an extra one in the summer. It didn't happen, but we did buy Ashley Phillips. Look, and I've said all the way along, we should start playing the kids. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And I think we should put Ashley Phillips in there next to a Romero. Because if you start putting an Eric Dyer or a Ben Davies, you look what happens. You look what happened in our last game before the international break. He makes 2 mistakes and we shoot ourselves in the foot. So I think Ange would have learnt his lesson from that. And I think them players would have learnt their lesson too. We need to start bringing in the youngsters, but we're definitely one of the biggest things we need to do in January, when that window opens, is buy a centre-back. Get one in. Start now. Start getting it ready. That on the 1st of January, we can announce it. Tottenham Hotspur have signed such and such a centre-back. Because we need bolstering in them positions. We need bolstering up front. We need bolstering in the back. We need to get rid of this Deadwood as well. We can't have an Eric Dyer or a Ben Davies coming on. To be fair, Ben Davies played well. He got man of the match, and rightly so. Eric Dyer is not a defender. He is useless. He needs to go, and he needs to go now. So please, for the love of God, for anything that is homely, if there is a Santa Claus out there, can you please deliver a centre-back to Tottenham Hotspur for Christmas? Leave it outside the gate, wrapped up, so Ange can open it Christmas morning. A big centre-back to go as a backup to Mickey van der Ven or Cristiano Romero. Because I tell you one thing, if we have Eric Dyer anywhere near that team, we're not going to win anything. He's useless, please. And also, if you're on that same point of Christmas presents, can you please take Eric Dyer away because he's an unwanted present? Also, Tottenham have reportedly backed away from making a January approach for Chelsea defender Troyve Shambola. I think, look, these are only rumours. So they might not be backing away, but this is reportedly have. We have to see what happens. Look, I don't think he's good enough, but other people think he is, but we have to see what happens. Now, as I said earlier, Argentina inflicted Brazil's first ever home loss in the World Cup qualifier, of course, in Rio last night in the Man in the Car. Argentina won 1-0. Look, I went over the crowd trouble before the game. It was shocking. It was horrendous. It was scary for the people that are in there. But again, I would state again, the Brazilian FA need to take a hard look at themselves. You don't stick rival fans in with each other. It isn't the 1950s. It isn't the 1960s when fans could go into one another. You can do that in other sports, maybe rugby and other sports like that, but football is tribalism. Football it's life, as Bill Shankly said, football is more than that. It's more than life and death. You don't stick the 2 biggest teams together in South America and you put the fans in together. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to have a sit down there and have a Mardi Gras and have a drink and have a picnic in the stands. Of course there's going to be fights. So somebody at the Brazilian FA has to seriously ask the questions. Why was this not happening? Why did the fans want segregated? Why, of all the other matches, they leave a part of the Manica free? They put the away fans at the top and they leave the lower tier unsold. So why did they think that this game would be okay to sell it all to stick fans in together? It was madness, absolute madness. And it wasn't a great game either. And what happened in the stands spilled onto the pitch. And one shot on target in the whole first half. Then you got Argentina winning 1-0. But it rarely blunted and it rarely took away the historic achievement that Argentina done last night. No team in any World Cup qualifier has beaten Brazil at home. This should be sending shockwaves around the footballing world. But instead of that, they're talking about what happened in the stands, which shouldn't really take away from Argentina's historic achievement. And look, and everyone's talking about Martinez taking the baton away from the Brazilian police officer. Fair play to him. If I was there, I would have done myself. It was the Brazilians FA's greed. It was the Brazilians FA's not thinking, not looking at the property. You do not stick rival fans in with each other. It's a recipe for disaster. And they got away with it. Look, they didn't get away with it in the one sense because there was fans hurt, there was arrests probably, and look, probably people went to hospital. But fans could have been killed last night. We could be talking about a bigger disaster this morning. And it is shocking. I don't know. FIFA will have to investigate what happens. I'm surely the Brazilian FA will put up their own investigation. And I'm surely the Argentinian FA will want to will look into an investigation. Because it's, I think, A, you don't stick rival fans in with each other. B, I think the Brazilian police were heavy-handed. And C, you're pushing back fans into Brazilian fans where you got a situation where a crush could have happened. There could have been a stampede. Brazilian fans will go jumping over the barriers onto the pitch to get away from whatever, to get away from the crush or to get away from the seats that were flying. It is shocking. That wouldn't happen in Europe, and it wouldn't happen, especially in the Premier League. And it is shocking that if you can go to a game where you know you're going to feel safe, and last night was not safe for either sets of fans because of a few people in a higher authority that put money above people's safety, above people's lives. And Lionel Messi, I give him fair play to him. He was a true leader of taking his players off the pitch last night to make a statement. We're not going out there unless our fans are protected. And I think Argentina did the right thing. I think Messi did the right thing. I think it was the right, and they did regain order in the end. And I think there was tension in the air all game, but it was all brought about because of a few people that put money above safety. And I'm very strongly on that. I really feel so strongly on that. And as I said, Argentina, it took away from Argentina's historic win last night in Brazil, the first ever home loss. Whoever thought since the World Cup started in 1930, Brazil have not lost a home qualifying game. Argentina, and they lose to all people. They lose to Argentina, their arch rivals. But we're talking about what's happened in the stands and before the game, instead of talking about what's happening on the pitch. It's absolutely shocking. And also, this news I got just before I started doing this pre-record. A professional game board subcommittee has removed Barnsley from the 2023-24 Emirates FA Cup for fielding an illegible player during the first round proper replay against Horsham. Look, again, if you've broken the rules, you deserve your punishment. And Barnsley broke the rules and they deserve their punishment. I don't know if Barnsley can appeal this decision. The news has only just dropped to me now. It was only sent to me a few minutes ago before I started this, so I don't know any more than what's on the screen there. But look, if Barnsley have done wrong, then Barnsley should be removed. Now, does that mean Horsham then? It's a hard one, but look, if Barnsley have done wrong, they're found guilty, then that's the punishment. I don't know if they can appeal it or whatever. I don't know, but that is the latest, guys. But look, the latest is are Spurs in trouble? Look, for me, I don't think we should be. I think the FA have sat on this for 14 years, which is an absolute disgrace. And I think whatever happens now, I think why not deal with it 14 years ago? But we should be worried. Points deduction, I think a fine is more suitable than points deduction, but they have set the precedent with Everton. But again, I would stress they need to, instead of looking at Tottenham over a mistake that happened 14 years ago, let's concentrate on the teams that have been investigated at the moment. As I said, Man City with 115 chances, Chelsea being done for breaking FFP rules, so is Man City, and a load of other charges as well. Get them done first. Instead of looking at the smaller fish, let's look at the bigger fish. Get them done. Get them charged. Get them out of the way. And I think a fine, if we are found guilty, a fine should be as much punishment as Tottenham should face. As I said before, we should not have used an unlicensed agent. It is against the rules. Fair cop. But it should have been dealt with 14 years ago. And that is unacceptable and unbelievable. And it's only because Man City and Chelsea are being done. This is the only reason they brought it out. Again, it's the FA and the Premier League against Tottenham. Everyone hates us, and we don't care. With Ange Postecoglou, we're going to win something. We're going to be successful. So the lot of you can go and take a swimming jump. But please, I hope you've enjoyed this. It was a bit of a rant. Sorry about that. I don't normally have rants like that, but I just had to get it off my system. But look, we are back tomorrow, of course, at 4 o'clock with Newsbeat, myself. And then all the build up to Aston Villa on the weekend. I'm putting videos up now in the next couple of hours of Philip on his journey, the fighting cock on his travels, as we're calling it. And I'm back tomorrow at 4. Any more breaking news, I will bring to you first and fastest here on the only YouTube channel with all the latest and breaking Spurs news. You want to know what's happening, you will find it here on THFC till I die. Whatever you do, have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. Take care, look after yourself, and come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust. Woohoo!